I'm going to take this story in a direction that some of you guys might not think I'm going to actually go. It was a rather interesting email that I got when I saw this story. I thought it was very tragic, very interesting for a lot of different reasons. But I'm always on the side of the kids. But in this case, I think there's something that was missed, something amiss, something wrong here. But let me tell you guys about this person who I guess was in charge of this child at this daycare. A lot of weird factors going on here. But let's get into this. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Thank you, Bridge K in the chat. Said everybody, please press that like button if you would. That helps us share these videos. Let's talk about this. I don't know, like I always try to tell people this story about daycare because I think it's important. I know parents out there that really, really care about your kids. We all have a healthy fear about daycares. You don't really know who to trust. You want to trust someone. It is not just as simple as just signing a paper and then just think that everything is going to be okay. You're hoping that the staff there is going to always do the right thing on behalf of your kid. That is a trust thing. That is a hope thing. And then sometimes you just hope that just people don't lean into their horrible human flaws. So I always tell people this story and shout out to my daughter because my daughter will be grown this year. It's crazy to be able to say that. Like my daughter will be grown in a couple of months. But I remember, and shout out to my daughter's mom, that when she was first born, we had no intention of taking my daughter to daycare at all. My daughter's mom, oh, she was mommy bear. She was mommy bear for sure. Like she was protective as hell over my daughter, right? To the point to where my daughter never saw a daycare until she was about 2 years old, and it was a family daycare, and it was accredited and everything. So we definitely waited until my daughter was more formidable before we finally took her there. But shout out to my daughter's mom. I think she made the right choice. We adjusted our working habits to where I ended up taking a job on the weekends, and this is all leading up to this story. I took a job on the weekends so that I could watch my daughter during the weekday, and then she could work during the weekday, and then I worked on weekends so that way we could work it out in our schedule and make everything work. So we're just blessed that we were able to make it through that, right? In this situation, this is every parent's nightmare when it comes to daycare. That's a beautiful little kid. North Carolina. New details, and shout out to WSPA.com. So I need to shout them out. Thank you for the article. New details are emerging after the tragic death of a 16-month-old girl at Lenore Daycare, Lenoir, as a newly released 911 call and court documents shed light on what unfolded during the child's first and only day at daycare. Let me say that again. The first and only day at daycare. You just wouldn't ever think something like this is going to happen. Alexandra Lee Coffey, who's 29 years old. Let me get her face back up on the screen, which is this lady, Alexandra Lee Coffey, 29 years old. She has been charged with felony involuntary manslaughter and released from the Caldwell County Detention Center this week after posting a $500,000 bond. How she was able to post a $500,000 bond is beyond me, but good for her. She was able to do it. It is what it is. That's what bond is for, just to secure things. They quote, "We have a child that is not breathing." In a 911 call released on Friday, and if y'all want to hear that, I'll play the call. If you want to hear it, I'll play it. The daycare's director's voice can be heard requesting medical help. "We have a child that is not breathing and she's turning blue," she tells the dispatcher. Daycare employees began CPR before emergency responders arrived. The child identified in court records as M.A.M. I don't know that I have the child's name, but I do have the picture. Yes, I do, actually. This baby's name, this beautiful angel, so we can pay respects. Her name is Madeline Maddie Amara-Serenity Mitchell. That's her full name, M-A-M. Madeline Maddie Amara-Serenity Mitchell. This baby was taken to a local hospital, was pronounced dead at 3:19 p.m. The panic in the 911 call paints a grim picture. Staff can be heard counting chest compressions as a dispatcher tries to walk them through life-saving steps, CPR. She is cold and I don't have a pulse, someone is heard saying. Her jaw is locked. Her tongue is thick. I can't open her mouth. At one point during the 911 call, one person revealed that they didn't know the child's name because it was her very first day of daycare. Jesus. Woo. They didn't even know her name. It was the first day of daycare. They hadn't even got a chance to get used to the baby's name. So what went wrong? According to court documents, the toddler was put down for a nap at 11:45 a.m. on Monday, May the 19th. Staff found this baby unresponsive at 2:30 p.m. nearly 3 hours later. I don't know how often you're supposed to check kids, but that is so sad. And I think that's mostly what that woman, Alexandra, excuse me. I think that's most of what she's being charged for, is not going and checking in the time frame that you're trained to do so. And for that, she's probably going to have to face a grave consequence. And I'm going to be real with y'all. As much as I am a advocate for children, hashtag protect our babies, which is what my shirt says. It says protect our babies. Of course, she didn't do this on purpose. She didn't do this on purpose. And it just saddens me because I've heard this, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. They say, and I've heard this before, and now it scares me to think about this. They say when a baby is sleeping, let them sleep. How many of y'all have heard that before? Not in a daycare scenario, completely different, but just in general. Have you ever heard somebody say, when a baby is sleeping, let them sleep? I've heard that before. Especially with my daughter being really, really young. She spent a lot of time with me during the weekdays in her very, very young years. Before she was able to crawl, when she needed me for everything. And I know that she wore me out. She wore me out. And I was just like I was told that when your daughter goes to sleep, you need to take a nap too. Because if you don't, that's the only time you're going to be able to get some sleep. Some of y'all have heard that before. Some of y'all maybe not have heard that before. They say when your kids go to sleep, take a nap then, because that's the only time you're going to get some sleep. Anyway, I'm not saying this applies to daycare because clearly it doesn't. Investigators are still working to determine the exact cause of death and have obtained a search warrant to collect items from the scene, which they did, which included a multicolored blanket, a white mattress cover, and a DVR believed to hold surveillance footage. So if you want to, we can go ahead and play the 911 call right now, but I'm going to tell the rest of the story. It's really short. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services ordered Creative Beginnings of Lenore, the daycare, to shut its doors on Wednesday. So they closed them down, shut them down. Although the daycare had passed its most recent inspection, previous reports reveal violations related to safe sleep practices and incomplete staff training. Apparently there were some violations at some point. An inspection last August found that sleep mats were not properly spaced, violating sleep requirements, a regulation that had become all the more critical in the light of the child's death. Coffee made her first court appearance on Thursday before bonding out of jail. William Hamby, a neighbor who helped raise Coffee, who helped raise this woman, came to her defense when he spoke about her. So he said good things about her, and I'm not saying anything bad about her, but I definitely get where he's coming from. Anybody with further information in relation to this case, call the Lenore Police Department at 828-757-2100 or Crime Stoppers at 828-758-8300. Let's go ahead and play that 911 call. Let me give you a disclaimer, and then we'll go from there. Oh, wrong thing. Disclaimer. Here we go.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
All right, if y'all would do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up. Here we go. Let me play the audio because it's just audio only, and then we'll play the news video. Here we go. Let me see if I can get this to play. I hope it'll play. Turn the audio up. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Hey, I need medical at Creative Beginnings of Lenore behind the movie theater. We have a child that is not breathing and she's turning blue.
Creative Beginnings?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is somebody doing CPR?
No. She is.
How old is the child? A year old?
Mhm.
All right. Hold on just a minute. I'm getting help to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So when they come there, where do they need to come to? Are you in a room?
We are, but I will meet him at the front door.
Front door?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
Her teacher thought that she was sleeping and then realized that she wasn't breathing.
What's the child's name?
Who is?
You need to put me on speakerphone so that I can make sure that we're counted correctly.
Okay.
Until her police come.
Okay, you're on speakerphone.
Hey, is there a defibrillator there by chance?
15, 16,
Hey.
17, 18,
Somebody
19,
say
20. Yes. Yes.
Does anybody have a defibrillator there?
No, we do not.
Okay. Okay.
The breaths don't seem to be going in.
Okay, listen. She's flat on her back, correct?
She is.
Is there anything?
Her jaw is kind of locked, and her breaths are not going in.
All right. Is there anything in her mouth?
I can't see anything, and her tongue is very thick, but I can't open her mouth. Her jaw is locked. Her jaw is locked.
Okay.
She's cold, and I don't have a pulse.
Okay. What I need you to do is we're going to start with mouth to mouth, okay?
Okay.
All right. Pinch her nose and completely
Yes.
cover her mouth with your mouth. Then blow
Yes.
2 regular breaths into the lungs, about 1 second each, just enough to make sure that her chest rises with each breath, okay?
It's not because she's new. Today was her first day.
Okay.
God.
Is there any air going in her when you're breathing in?
No.
Okay. Tilt her head back a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
I want you to do that one more time. Pinch her nose
Okay.
closed, completely cover her mouth with your mouth, blow 2 breaths into her lungs, about 1 second each, okay?
It's not going in.
No air, okay.
No.
All right, so continue to do compressions for me. Place to heel.
If Crystal could come and help me, that's why I called Crystal, so she can come and help me.
I know
No,
you're scared. Just
Crystal.
listen to me.
Okay, yes.
Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone in the center of the chest, right between the nipples, okay?
Gotcha.
All right. I need you to pump the chest hard and fast 30 times and twice per second, okay?
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. How many times?
Keep pumping. Don't stop.
Okay,
Keep on
okay.
pumping, okay?
I'm pumping. I'm pumping.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay?
8, 10. Gotcha. 15, 16, 17,
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Keep
3,
pumping for me
4.
so we can get help with you, okay?
1, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Okay.
3,
There
4.
should be an officer there now, but keep on pumping until they're right beside you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, is there somebody that can go and lock the door?
I am the director, and I'm not at the front right now. There may be a teacher up there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's foam coming out her nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's coming out of her nose?
Foam. It's foamy snot.
All right. Turn her head to the side, okay?
He's here.
All right.
Okay.
I still need you to turn her head to the side and make sure to get
Okay.
that mucus away from her nose, okay?
Can you come over to me? Just give it to me. Thank you. Okay, Miss Otter. It's been probably 4 minutes, maybe.
Okay. Any idea, like...
I have no idea. She was sleeping. She was sleeping.
Ma'am,
Yes.
does anybody there know that baby?
Okay. Yes, let me go get her file right now. I'm sorry. Because today's her first day, she's not in our childcare app, and so we.
Okay.
Let me find her file. Her birthday's the.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to have surveillance footage. They have the DVR, so they'll be able to see all of this. So if they weren't doing anything, they better pray that they were, because otherwise it's going to get really, really bad for them in court.
Thank you.
And I haven't called Mom yet. I need to call her.
What's your name?
The video's still going. I don't know.
Okay, I'll go ahead and let you go now that they're there, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you did a good job.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Man. Boy, isn't that crazy?
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't hear any panic in their voice either. It didn't sound like they really gave a damn, but that's just a personal opinion. I didn't hear any panic either.
Today, a mother charged with murder for the death of her 4-year-old son.
Details regarding that toddler's death while attending a daycare in Lenoir. We've been staying on top of the story out of Caldwell County all week long. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm John Carter.
And I'm Siobhan Bryan. 16-month-old Maddie Mitchell took a nap at Creative Beginnings on Monday, but tragically never woke up. Tonight, Alexandria Coffey, who was an employee at the daycare, faces charges connected to Maddie's death. Coffey is currently out on bond after being charged with involuntary manslaughter.
New court documents show the 16-month-old was put down for a nap just before noon on Monday. She was found unresponsive more than 2 hours later, prompting staff to begin CPR. Maddie was pronounced dead later at the hospital. A new search warrant shows investigators collected multiple items from the daycare. That includes a multicolored blanket, a white mattress cover, and a Lorex DVI security camera. Investigators believe it contains surveillance video from inside the daycare.
Now, in North Carolina, involuntary manslaughter is an unintentional killing from careless or reckless actions. If someone is engaged in a misdemeanor when they cause a death, it could lead to manslaughter charges.
Breaking right now from Queen City News.
A Lenoir daycare worker is facing involuntary manslaughter charges in connection with a child's death. Police say officers arrested Alexandra Coffey for her involvement in the death of a 16-month-old who died earlier this week after attending daycare at Creative Beginnings of Lenoir. Coffey is an employee at the facility. Lenoir police responded to the business on Monday about a child in cardiac arrest. The 16-month-old toddler died at the hospital despite life-saving efforts. Now, North Carolina regulators are suspending the license of that daycare. Health and Human Services officials sent that notice to the operators of Creative Beginnings, with the suspension taking effect at the end of business today. State regulators say they issued the suspension based on information they received about the health and safety of children.
A daycare worker charged in connection with the death of a 16-month-old girl in Lenoir is now out of jail after posting a $500,000 bond. 29-year-old Alexandra Lee Coffey, you see right here, faced the judge for the first time this morning. A Queen City News reporter Jen Cardone has new details about what happened at the facility on Monday.
Take a response could lose a 1-year-old female child. CPR is in progress at this time. We'll be at Bernhardt Creative Beginnings.
It was right around 2:45 Monday afternoon when first responders were called out to Creative Beginnings of Lenoir for an unresponsive 16-month-old girl. New court documents say she was placed down for a nap around 11:45 a.m. and found unresponsive around 2:30 p.m. Staff immediately began CPR until she went to the hospital, where she died about 45 minutes later. It's still unclear what happened between when the child was put down for the nap and went into cardiac arrest, but 29-year-old Alexandra Lee Coffey has been charged with felony involuntary manslaughter in the death of a toddler.
She's just a humble, good girl. And I am very proud to call her my granddaughter.
William Hamby lives next door. He says he saw Coffey grow up and doesn't believe what happened.
She is not capable of anything like that. And if I had children now, I would not be afraid to leave them with her.
He says he has not seen her or her parents since Monday's incident. The front door of the home is wide open. Hamby says deputies asked him why it was when they stopped by on Wednesday. At Creative Beginnings, staff members were inside when we arrived on Thursday, but clearly did not want to be identified or speak with us. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services shut down the facility on Wednesday after previous violations related to safe sleep practices and incomplete staff training. Records show during an unannounced visit last August, beds, cribs, playpens, cots, or mats were not placed at least 18 inches apart. Jen Cardone, Queen City News.
So that's basically what I wanted y'all to hear. I wanted y'all to hear what the elder man had to say about that. And it's hard not to agree with him because, and people in the chat are asking, like, what exactly did she do wrong? I think what it is that they have a time frame that they're supposed to go and check these kids, I think like once an hour or something like that. Don't hold me to that. But you said 3 hours is long not to check on a baby. So there you go. Basically, I think that's what they're saying that she neglected to do. So if that's in their training regimen to do, then you got to do what you got to do, or otherwise you would be held accountable for not following that. It's part of your job. That's why you're there. So I do think that because let's just say if this child survived, then yeah, I think there should be some leniency. But whatever neglect there was led up to not finding this baby sooner than what they were supposed to. And it makes you also wonder if there was something that the child might have been suffering from before they even got to this point. A lot of unanswered questions, but I guess maybe we'll have to do an update on this. So to that baby, young Princess Maddie, R.I.P. Just really a sad story all the way around. But if you have these jobs, just do your job. Do the job that you're hired to do and just pray that stuff like this doesn't happen. That's really all you can do. So we'll do an update if we can get one, okay? Thank you.